What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Getaway Podcast, our sports edition, where this episode we're going to bring you our first 15 or so mock draft for the NFL mock happening tomorrow night. Big personal favorite of mine, the mock drafts every year. You can't wait for them, everything like that. Why don't we just start off right away with that first pick? Pretty easy pick there, but who do you think is going to be, Leo?
Yeah, so for the first overall pick is going to be the Chicago Bears, and they're obviously going to pick Caleb Williams. How can you not pick a person who's they're comparing him to Patrick Mahomes, so you kind of have to pick him. Mm-hmm. They also traded Justin Fields and also have added receivers in the offseason, so yeah, they're definitely going to be picking Caleb Williams. I like Caleb Williams because I like USC. So yeah, He really does play like Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, his ability to extend the play, his throwing, just
good scrambler. I think he might be faster than Patrick Mahomes as far as scrambling. Good arm, good throw, good throwing accuracy. The only thing is sometimes he does make some really shitty throws that I have seen. Mm-hmm. He makes some really bad throws, and he'll get some pretty clutch.
But I'm sure people said that at Texas Tech when Patrick Mahomes was there. I'm sure there was questions about throws and stuff like that. But once you just refine that, you got a good coach and everything like that.
I think just sometimes when you're that good too, you just try and make big plays and then you fuck up a little bit.
Yeah, and then also the receiving help may not have been there. Where now he's going to have two, all pro.
He's going to have good receivers. Yeah, Caleb Williams definitely going to the Bears. Unless they surprise us and pick somebody else.
Yeah, I don't think there's any chance there's anybody
I really doubt that. They really set themselves up. They did everything possible this offseason to get Caleb Williams. So I definitely think they're getting Caleb Williams in the first overall pick.
Yeah, so it should be pretty 100%. I don't think there's any other question.
It's very evident that's what they need now.
Yeah, beginning of the season to now, he's held that number one spot.
They just opened up their QB spot. So we're
might be the best position a QB's ever came into as well, in the top 10 picks.
Yeah.
With the weapons he has, everybody they've signed, they just gave him the throne.
There should be an improvement for the Bears. I'm expecting them to improve at least.
Yeah. But, good division, but they look good.
I'm expecting them to improve.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
And then, I'm definitely expecting the Bears to improve. So I'm not putting huge expectations on them, but I could definitely see them getting into the playoffs or something.
Yeah.
So definitely I'm expecting an improvement.
Yeah, for sure.
So hopefully
there's going to be some high expectations for him alone, just being the name he is. And compared to Patrick Mahomes, they're going to, a lot of people are going to expect a C.J. Stroud type rookie season.
They're going to expect him to be perfect.
Exactly. But, hold your expectations. He will be good in a few years, though, for sure. Yeah. There's no doubt. I
think he'll definitely have a good rookie season, though.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He could be rookie of the year.
Definitely, a definite pick, especially with the weapons, like we said.
Which is, definitely I would expect the Chicago Bears to improve this year. Mm-hmm. If they're anywhere near what the record's anywhere near last year, that to me is kind of disappointing.
Yeah, for sure.
But, so who's the second pick? Isn't it the Commanders?
The Commanders, yeah.
Who do they have? Who do you have getting?
Quarterback needy team again. A bunch of quarterback needy teams at the draft. I think they're going to go with the Heisman winner, Jaden Daniels. I know I always say McDaniels.
Not the Timberwolves.
Yes, Jaden Daniels, Heisman winner. Lamar Jackson type player. He can rush. He can, that kind of thing. You always got to worry about legs with him. Definitely.
I think his scrambling could open up deep passes. Yeah, and they got McLaurin.
Yeah,
they got deep guys.
He had great weapons. As I was going to say, at LSU with Neighbors and Brian Thomas, those kind of guys. But again, like you said, coming into a great situation with Terry, that's a great receiver
and
right
Dotson.
there. Deep ball, Jahan Dotson should have a good year.
But they have good deep ball guys, so him being able to scramble is
they need to worry about protecting him. But his ability to scramble may help that because, sometimes you get a pass rusher that comes in and you scramble to the outside, so then it kind of opens up some room for you, that kind of thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I think that's
another team I see improving
pick of just go the easy, best available guy. If you like one of the other quarterbacks, okay. But I think he's the second best quarterback in this draft.
Yeah, I definitely see the Commanders improving as well.
Yeah.
They're not going to win that division, but I definitely could see a few more wins, and they're weirdly tough to beat sometimes. Like the Commanders are just like oddly like tough to beat at times. I don't know why. Like sometimes they just give teams like really good games.
Yeah, I don't know.
So sometimes they get spanked, and then sometimes they give like a really good game. So it's like for them, it's like you never know. But
well, last year it's like their offense wasn't bad.
They
crazy numbers in fantasy.
They like give teams trouble.
Yeah,
they
really
really
put up crazy
do.
numbers in fantasy. But the only thing with him is that he just had no protection. I think he took one of the most top sacks in the league up there.
Yeah.
So if you can't protect him, you can't win.
You can't do anything.
Yeah. So I think they're going to have to go with the quarterback. And like I said, with the quarterback that scrambles is, and they did trade Howell.
But they still have to protect them, though, because you don't want to have them, like, scrambling around and making, like, these crazy throws.
Richardson, yeah.
Yeah, because you also want them to be able to go back and be in the pocket and make throws. You don't want them to be, like, scrambling, having to throw across his body or running too much, getting hit. But, yeah, I definitely think it's a good pick for them.
Yeah.
Definitely going to open up the long balls, too, if he can scramble. Because teams aren't going to want to play as far back. They're going to try and creep up a little bit more and stop that scramble.
Yeah. And they have some good running backs. I mean, I know Austin Eckler's not what he used to be, but he's up. He had production.
Yeah.
And then Brian
Robinson.
Brian Robinson. I'm sorry. He ain't bad, though. Yeah, he's pretty good. So they'll have a little bit of an offense.
Their offense is interesting.
Yeah, you put a good quarterback on that team, and obviously, like we said, some line pieces. That's not a bad team, man, on offense.
Yeah, no, they give teams hard games. The Commanders. Sorry.
Yeah.
They're like a tough. They're a hard week. They're like, I don't know. They're like that annoying team that it's like they're not that good, but it's like God, like they're annoying to play.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was probably expect a few more wins from them. They're not going to win that division because they're not going to be better than the Cowboys or the Eagles.
Yeah, tough
They'll
division.
They'll be better than the Giants.
Tough division with those two, yeah.
But they're not going to be better than the Cowboys or the Eagles, and yeah. But I could see, like 2-3 more wins, which is pretty legit. Improvement is an improvement. Mm-hmm. And they have a young quarterback, so that's better. It's better than nothing. So
yeah,
better than Sam Howell.
Definitely. All right, with that third pick, we got the New England Patriots, and I have them taking another quarterback. Maybe a little bit of a surprise, but I have them sticking Michigan guys, winners, and going J.J. McCarthy. A guy like Drake May, but he's just a proven winner, you know what I mean? That team desperate for a quarterback as well.
Yeah, a lot of teams need a quarterback.
A lot of big quarterback needy draft, yeah.
They definitely need a quarterback. They have, like, pretty good receivers.
I'd say some weapons.
They're not people that stand out, but
I wouldn't say it's top receivers, but we were talking about before, like you give a decent receiver a better quarterback, either, so. And maybe he turns into a good one. You know, know. Like you just give him that right guy to throw him that right ball. You never know what he can do with it. You know what I mean? Mario Douglas. Who was the other one they had?
Kendrick Bourne.
Now
they have KJ Osborne.
Now they got KJ. Yeah, you know what I mean? That's a decent. You wouldn't look at them as like, oh, I got to face them. But then you get a good quarterback that can hit their target. Hunter Henry, he's not the worst.
They're like dangerous guys.
Yeah, they could put up some numbers.
Maybe Ramondre Stevenson can go back to being like how he was the year before. Yeah. Not last year, but the year before he was really good. Mm-hmm. And last year he kind of was trash, but I don't know. The Patriots weren't really that good last year either.
Yeah.
It didn't look like they were really motivated.
Yeah.
Ramondre Stevenson, he did have James White comparisons. And the year before, he literally played like James White.
They got a new head coach this year, though.
Yeah.
First time. So that'll be an interesting story.
Maybe they try and give him the James White workload again because he can go and receive, and he's a pretty solid running back. He's good at
last year was a bit of a down year, but yeah, he's not bad at all.
If you're compared to James White, you can't be that terrible. But last year just didn't have a good year.
Yeah, as least as the receiving end goes. Yeah.
But they have like solid guys too. They have like Hunter Henry too, the tight end. So it's like he's got some targets, and their defense isn't that bad. There are some weeks where their defense is pretty legit as far as fantasy. Their defense put up some pretty good weeks. Yeah. So, but I don't know. Maybe they're
They had some close losses.
And now with the
they put up a lot of points. This offense was so
the
bad.
Offense was bad.
Just so bad.
Mac Jones was bad.
Well, the whole team. When you're not a good quarterback, you don't have confidence in your team that you're going to win. So you draft a guy and it might instill some confidence. You might see these guys play a lot better.
So maybe like if McCarthy can like get some touchdowns and stuff, and the defense can keep them in games.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, their division now. I mean, the Bills, I feel like, got worse.
Yeah.
So maybe they have a shot there.
Bills got worse. I would say the Dolphins got worse losing Christian Wilkins.
Yeah.
On the defense, they got worse.
So like,
the offense is fantastic, but their defense got worse.
If the Patriots can like put the ball in the end zone and then hold them on defense, I mean, hey. They have a shot in that division.
Yeah.
I don't know about winning, but maybe a second.
Yeah, don't forget about the Jets. Aaron Rodgers is coming back healthy.
They're not going to be better than the Jets.
No, if Aaron Rodgers comes back healthy and they're good, watch out for that team. Yeah.
But they'll give the Jets a tough game, though, because that Patriots defense is legit.
For sure.
So who's the fourth pick?
Fourth pick, we got them Arizona Cardinals. I think... Now, there's a lot of talks about trading here, trading back, trading with teams that need quarterbacks and stuff like that. But I just think it's too easy of a pick, and they don't have any other receiver on their team. So I think it's just too easy to go get the best receiving prospect in the last 10, 20 years of Marvin Harrison Jr. And
they lost our receiver.
Yeah, exactly. Like their top receiver is Michael Wilson right now, and I cannot name another one. I just don't.
Yeah.
They have Trey McBride, who's a very promising young tight end. But you know what I mean.
But
so now you bring in Kyler Murray, James Conner, and you bring in a stud receiver like Harrison, who's like I said, best wide receiver and prospect. I mean, his route running is just crisp. He's fast. His hands are incredible. Everything about him, that's the guy. I mean, I if they want to trade back, there are some teams, the Broncos, the Raiders, the Vikings, that could trade up for them. But to get a quarterback on that spot, just to make sure another quarterback or another team doesn't trade for a quarterback. But it's just too easy here. A team like that needs a wide receiver. Every team needs a solid one, and he's about as solid as they come.
Yeah, he'll definitely. I mean, the offense will improve. Kyler Murray's really inconsistent, and sometimes he does miss receivers wide open because he can't see over the line. So that could be an issue. I mean, that was a problem with DeAndre Hopkins. And sometimes Kyler Murray makes some really awful throws because he can't see over the line and he thinks that someone's open and then he just throws it up there and then it gets picked.
Yeah, that'll always be a problem.
And he is a very inconsistent quarterback. Like, he can be really good, but he can also be not so very good.
Yeah.
I think he could just go in there and just definitely be the number one. And they're definitely going to just be looking at James Conner a lot, too. So I would just expect them to run a good amount of the time. And when they're throwing, I would just expect the ball to go to Marvin Harrison most times until somebody else steps up.
Well, don't forget Trey McBride, like I said, at the tight end.
Yeah.
Good guy. I think he'll have a good season.
He'll be solid. I just think they're going to use him a lot to block for James Conner. They like to run. They like running a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I think he's going to be a good pro. And, definitely is going to be the number one on that team. It's just a matter of, can your quarterback get you the ball when you're open? Because Kyler Murray does have an issue with that. He does not always get the ball to people when they're open. But I don't know. Maybe he's working on it over the summer. Maybe he's getting it down. But
yeah,
they definitely need a receiver. So Marvin Harrison is a great pick for them for sure.
Yeah, I think he stands above the other receivers, Malik Neighbors, Romo Duzne. I think he's got another level to him. Yeah.
And he was trained by his dad, so he better be good.
His dad's one of the best receivers ever there, Marvin Harrison, yeah.
So he better be.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to be amazing. Your route running's got to be impeccable.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of a team that needs a receiver, I mean, the trend kind of continues, quarterback receiver needing teams, but those San Diego Chargers, I have them taking the second best receiver available, Malik Neighbors from LSU. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of the same story with them.
It's very evident that they need a receiver.
Yeah.
That's very obvious that they need a receiver.
Yeah,
I mean,
Josh Palmer.
Lost, all their receivers.
Yeah, lost Mike Williams, lost Keenan Allen, Josh Palmer, Quentin Johnson, your two starters. It's going to be rough.
Yeah, you need like another guy.
Yeah.
You need a glimmer of hope.
They lost Gerald Everett. They lost as tight end.
Yeah.
So
you need a glimmer of hope.
Brock Bowers, tight end from Georgia, is a possibility here for sure, as well as taking an offensive tackle just to protect Justin Fields.
Yeah.
Justin Herbert, excuse me. But you need to get receivers. Like we said with the Arizona Cardinals, same thing applies here. Except they probably have a better quarterback. So they already have the quarterback. So you don't have to worry about that. You just need someone.
You can't just throw Justin Herbert out in the cold like that and be like, yeah, bro.
He needs another one. Yeah,
we're going to throw you out there with mediocre ass receivers. So you need to give him someone.
Mm-hmm. They traded away the two older guys, injury guys. Like Mike Williams coming back from injury, Keenan Allen a little older, still productive, but a little older. So now they get a little younger, maybe faster, that kind of thing. Who knows what they do,
So I don't know how good they'll be, but
I think they got to take a step down.
If they can get like chemistry, maybe Herbert and Neighbors get good chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
I just think the other two receivers are just not. I don't know. They're solid. Like they can be good, but I don't know.
Not number ones.
They're just not.
Number ones. Like, maybe at one point you might have saw the potential, but not right now. Yeah.
Yeah. No. So definitely Malik Neighbors going there. If I'm the Chargers, I'll probably try and get him.
Oh yeah, wide receiver at least. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I like him too over Rome Oduzne. I think he's got the best hands in the class. Like he makes some catches where you just see and you're like, dude, what? Like he just blows your mind with some of the hands and some of like the acrobatic type catches he makes. I think Marvin's got a little better route running, better like tighter route running than him. But again, when you got hands like that, I mean, you can make your own routes.
As long as you throw it around them.
Yeah, exactly. So he's got a hard throw in Herbert.
He's got a good quarterback.
Exactly. So. Herbert can throw deep as anyone. So it'll be all right,
They'll definitely be able to build some good chemistry for sure.
Yeah, it's a step in the right direction, that's for sure. I wouldn't be surprised if they took Joe Alt, the offensive tackle, very good from Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be surprised.
I just feel like that'd just be kind of a waste.
I think, Jim Harbaugh, the new coach, he likes taking tackles. He likes building the line. He's that kind of guy. Yeah. So I could see that too. But again,
they definitely need a receiver. Like they need a receiver.
Really
you need someone to throw to. You can't just throw them out there.
If you're having faith in those two and Josh Palmer, Quentin Johnson, I mean, Johnson was a first-round pick, so maybe he's still got potential. But you're really handicapping what Herbert can do.
You can't just throw him out there in the cold and be like, have fun throwing to these guys that aren't really that great. Like they might be good a few games, but they're not going to be good, like consistent every game. Mm-hmm. But I guess we'll have to find out.
For sure.
I think they should definitely get Malik Neighbors.
Yes. All right.
So who's next?
We got the New York Giants here. I mean,
good luck whoever is going there. I'm sorry.
They could go. They could go a number of directions here. They could go. I have them going Romo Duzne, the third best receiver in my opinion on the draft. Good hands as well. Fast, big receiver. Played with Michael Penix. Throws a terrific deep ball. Michael Penix. So transitioning to Daniel Jones, who does not throw a very good deep ball. It's going to be a little different shift for him. So he may have like a harder time adjusting than the other two receivers, in my opinion, just for that fact alone. That being said, QB is still a very big possibility. There's a few names there that they could definitely take. And they don't have the best receivers, but out of the other two teams, we talked about the Cardinals and Chargers, I think they might have better receivers than them. Not that they're fantastic, but Wan'Dale Robinson has potential.
Yeah, they have potential. I think just their quarterback sucks.
I mean, Daniel Jones is just
limiting. Their quarterback stunts their potential.
I agree. Like,
so if I'm the Giants, I'll try and get a quarterback.
Yeah, if you see potential with a receiver and Daniel Jones is your quarterback, it's like imagine what he could do if you throw another quarterback in there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're a possible maybe trade back up in the first-round team or just take a quarterback here. I mean, they got Drake May still on the board.
I just think if they try to get a receiver, I just think they're kind of screwing that guy over because Daniel Jones is ass.
Yeah.
It's like he's just trash.
Nah, he is. They got some offensive line help in the offseason.
If I was them, I would just get a quarterback and then just try, try them out, try the guy, try the new guy out and see.
Even knowing how much you paid Daniel Jones, you're just gonna bite the bullet and say, put him in backup, and
I would.
Yeah,
I would just be like, bro, like you can't hit any other receivers. Mm-hmm. Maybe if they draft a quarterback and that quarterback starts making throws and start hitting receivers, and the receivers that they have can actually be better, and the offense can run better. I just think Daniel Jones just really stunts their offense a lot.
Losing Saquon's gonna hurt too. Losing Saquon's gonna hurt.
So you need
stack the box as much with it.
So you need a quarterback that can make throws even more now, because you don't have the other teams aren't going to be paying attention to. They don't have to pay attention to Saquon anymore. Mm-hmm. So now you need a quarterback that can make throws even more.
Yeah, goal line opportunities. You could hit the ball to Devin Singletary, but I mean, I'd feel.
And he's just proven that he just
pass or honestly a QB rush. He has some legs on him. Daniel Jones. Some surprisingly really good runs, but it's like you just don't see the consistency there.
Yeah, no.
You know, you just don't see it. It's like one game he'll be like, wow, that was a good run. Oh, that was a good pass, and then like 2 plays later, you're like,
he throws
like this guy doing?
Worst pass you've ever seen.
The hell is he doing? Yeah, exactly.
Or he'll fumble.
I mean, they got a couple possibilities. QB, I think a lot of people think they could even trade up with the Cardinals and get one of the other QB available. I don't see that being I see it being a realistic thing, but I don't see it being a smart thing. Let me say that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like if they could just stay put, get their guy, unless they're afraid that another team is going to jump up, which usually happens. So a lot of times they trade up because they're scared another team is going to trade up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So and they want their guy. A lot of teams have their guy, and they're set on him. You know?
Yeah. If I'm the Giants, I'd probably try and get a quarterback.
Yeah, I think they'll go Rome. I mean, you're right that it is a more franchise-changing direction going quarterback, but I mean, if he has barely anyone to throw to, that's the problem, you know? At least with the Cardinals and the Chargers, they have a quarterback there, but they don't have anyone to throw to, you know what I mean?
The Giants have some guys. They got some good guys.
They have Wandale.
They just don't have anybody to throw it to them.
It's just, I don't know, I think,
they have Hyatt. Mm-hmm. Like, he's solid.
He's a speed guy.
Right?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
It's just Daniel Jones sucks.
Mm-hmm.
So... yeah, it's kind of tough to be a receiver when your quarterback just can't throw.
Yeah.
So, or just makes really bad throws.
Bad decisions all around on that guy, yeah.
So,
but you got bad decisions from the whole franchise, so does it really surprise you?
Yeah. So maybe if they draft a quarterback, I don't know. Maybe it makes them. Maybe it just lights a fire under his ass. Maybe he tries to do a little better, or
that's true.
If he's not competition, if he's not doing good, you could just put the other guy in who could be a top pick. You know, who was a good guy in college, and be like, okay, dude,
yeah, because the argument
try and see if you can get an offense going.
You don't want to waste quote unquote a first round pick on a backup quarterback. But I mean, look at Patrick Mahomes. I mean, they used the first round quarterback or pick on him, and they already had a quarterback in Alex Smith.
Yeah.
He played for a year or two, and then go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a couple guys that have been like that. You know,
Jordan Love, like that.
Jordan Love came in with Aaron Rodgers. Tom Brady. I mean, Tom Brady wouldn't have played if the what's his name didn't get hurt.
Drew
Bledsoe, yeah, he got hurt, and the game Tom Brady comes in, and the rest was history. Yeah. 700 Super Bowls later, and
at least you could have them teach them or something.
Yeah, you don't want Daniel Jones teaching them. You don't get that twisted. Yeah, but I can see them going receiver here just to give another weapon because
I think they're going to just try and give Daniel Jones another shot because of the money they just paid him.
They trust him way too much, though. That's the thing.
They just paid him like $40 million.
Giving him all that money, not giving Saquon the money. I think they'll.
You lose
I could see them going offensive tackle here.
You lost your entire offense, and then you pay this guy, and you're like, why has this guy done to even earn that paycheck?
Nothing.
This dude sucks.
Nothing. Yeah, they were scared of losing him because they were scared of having someone worse, but it's like, how many more?
I would rather take the shot at possibly having.
Yeah, I would have rather signed Gardner Minshew. I know he was bad at the second half, but Josh Dobbs had potential early in the season. Give a guy like that.
Like I literally would
like,
take the shot and be like, I'd rather just take the shot and be like, all right, whatever.
Yeah, if they can swing in the second round and get a quarterback, that'd be great. I don't think there are going to be many left, though. That's the thing. So,
yeah,
like, as you'll see later in the draft, a lot of them go. A lot of them go, or at least could go. That's for sure. All right, I mean, it's going to be a rough one, but we'll see with the Giants. Moving on to the Titans, kind of boring, but I have them getting an offensive tackle. Best one, in my opinion, in the draft, Joe Alt from Notre Dame.
Yeah.
I think with the offensive additions of Calvin Ridley and Tony Pollard, that they're going to want to shore up that offensive line and just, protect their guy Will Levis.
They're going to try and protect him. Mm-hmm. They're going to give him a shot.
I think they have faith that he's their guy. Yeah.
Yeah. He was. I mean,
he had a couple good games last year, but they were kind of misleading because when you saw like 4 touchdowns, 5 or whatever, like big numbers, you're like, wow. But then when you really looked into it, it was like, how is he doing it? And you're like, and then you make some questionable throws, and then
but you saw the potential.
Yeah. Now they got another receiver,
and he's a hard competitor.
Yeah,
he plays hard, so you're like, okay, so they see I can see what they see in him, and now they got like you said, Tony Pollard. They still got DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah. Getting up there, but Ridley,
Now they got Ridley.
Tajay Spears is there as well, who has potential.
They got, they put some guys around them. They put a running back with them. Mm-hmm. So, I think offensive tackle or an offensive lineman just in general would be a good choice.
Yeah, there's not much to say about a team that needs an offensive tackle. It's just, you got to protect your guys, Next we got the Falcons. Could go a couple different directions here. Not on the offensive end, though. This team, definitely. This is the first team that just needs nothing on offense, in my opinion. Maybe a tackle is a possibility.
Or
any Kirk Cousins coming off an injury like that, help your running game, that kind of stuff. But I had them getting Dallas Turner, the defensive end from Alabama. One of the most physically gifted guys in the draft, as far as defense goes, at least. Where he I think it was like a 4.4 40-yard dash, 10-foot broad jump, some like crazy numbers. I think it was like a 40-inch vertical too. Some crazy numbers for a defensive end. A guy being like 250, something like that. Those are some fantastic numbers. So they need help getting to the quarterback. They always have. Yeah. And so if they can finally,
they need to put more pressure.
Yeah, I think. In another world where there's not quarterback and wide receiver needing teams, he could be a top 5 pick. He's good, in my opinion. What he did in college, what he did at the combine, I think he's shown he deserves a top 10 pick, if not higher. But like I said,
I would say if anything, they probably need more help on defense. Mm-hmm. Need to tighten up that defense because if you're just giving up a ton of points, having all that offense, doesn't really
not the worst secondary in the world with AJ Terrell and Jesse Bates.
Yeah,
they got some guys like they got.
They just got to build it up a little more.
That front seven.
And they got to get more pressure on quarterbacks.
If there's anything that's been proven to win titles, it's
being able to get sacks.
Defensive line. It's you build in the trenches like that. Their offensive line, I mean, it's not the best, but their defensive line.
It's just like if you're gonna sack the quarterback or make him like uncomfortable when he throws, like, they definitely need to get pressure on the quarterback.
Yeah, it's
for sure.
So important.
They've never
QBs
really known just had a field day against them, just time to throw and so.
100%. Yeah, so the offensive weapons they have already, drafting a running back last year, drafting a receiver the year before, they were drafting a tight end the year before.
Yeah.
They don't need to go offensive.
I think the offense is solid.
Like we were saying, if they want to go tackle, I understand wanting to protect Kirk Cousins coming back from injury, but I think I
would tighten up that
defensive tackle. And like I said, at this position in the draft, they have their pick on anybody in the draft. There's another guy coming up with the very next pick I have. But Latu, a very good, technically sound player. I mean, he could go there. Defensive tackle, Byron Murphy, he could go there, very productive. They say in like an Aaron Donald type mold for Byron Murphy. He's not obviously that good. He wasn't that productive in college. But they have some options there. So getting that option is just a luxury for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, now that next one with number 9, we got the Chicago Bears, second first round pick. Like I said, I have them getting defensive end Latu. I hope I'm saying that right, but He being the other side of Montez Sweat. Montez Sweat led 2 teams in sacks last year.
Yeah,
Crazy
yeah.
enough, so you can see the reduction there. So you put another guy opposite side him. I mean,
Yeah.
sky's the limit for both of them. You know what I mean?
It's kind of like it's kind of like similar to like the Falcons.
Similar
their
to Falcons.
defense is like their offense is like solid, and they just need to like just load up on their defense, like mold up their defense a little more.
How much, being their second first round pick, how big of a possibility you think they could trade back, and another team could trade up, get into quarterback here?
Yeah. I don't know. If I was them, I would just try and get a defensive player at that point. I would draft Caleb Williams and then get my offense set, and then I would just try and get like a good defensive guy at this point.
A lot of rumors. Also, the Giants, by the way, they could trade back. I think it's like, or just take quarterback there. A lot of teams: Cardinals, Chargers, Giants. I mean, really. Even Falcons, they could all, and the Bears included, they could all trade back. I mean, realistically. I've heard a lot of rumors about those first couple teams trading back. But this Bears one, honestly, just makes the most sense for me. Seeing what they already did last year, where they got the number 1 pick from the Panthers, so they got a history of doing it. And then already having like the offense.
I would just try and get like if you can get like a really good top defensive guy.
I think if they trade back, say to like a 20-ish, whatever they want to do, if they can get, say, the Vikings 11-23 for moving up 2 spots, just to make sure they get their guy. I mean, I think it might be a dumb move for the Vikings, but it'd be an incredible move for the Bears.
Yeah, sometimes you can find like those gems late.
Yeah, I mean,
if you can get like a top dude
at 23, they could get. I don't know if Byron Murphy's going to last, but there's a couple guys. Jared Verse from Florida State, very fast defensive end as well, and then Chop Robinson, all around guy from Penn State. Yeah. I think there are a couple guys that if they do trade back, they're a real possibility. They might not get the guy they want, but they'll get a good player.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. And then they may get more future assets on top of it.
Yeah.
As you see, a lot of these trades with picks end up working out for the team that gets the picks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You can always find people later in the draft, too. So you can always find like those hidden gems that nobody knows about that go to like the random college that you don't even know exists.
Yeah.
And they're just like beasts. So, I mean, they could really do whatever. I think whatever they choose to do is fine. If they want to trade back and they can get a good guy, then do that. If they want to stay put and get a good guy, like you're gonna get somebody who's good regardless.
Yeah, definitely some possibilities here all around.
Definitely, like getting a defensive guy would be good though. Just to just get their defense set too. You know.
Yeah, I've heard.
You don't want to just put everything into your offense and then your defense is trash and you're giving up like 40 points a game.
Yeah, I've heard some rumors of them getting a receiver here if one of the big 3 receivers falls, or Brock Bowers, the tight end. I just don't see it. I think that's a super luxury at that point. Like you just signed Keenan Allen to go with DJ Moore. You don't really need a draft.
Get your defense right, and their tight end is solid too.
Yeah, they just signed Gerald Everett. They have Cole Kmet.
They have Cole Kmet.
You don't need these guys.
You don't need another tight end.
You do need pass rushers though, because you can never have enough of those. Honestly.
Yeah, and if your defense is good and your offense is good, I mean, you're going to have a good shot in the NFL.
Exactly. So I think they could be, if they nail these 2 picks, I think they'll have obviously the best draft of any team.
Definitely.
Most impactful draft of any team.
Yeah.
If they can get the best quarterback, the best player overall, Caleb Williams, and then probably the second best defensive player.
Yeah.
If the Falcons go with the defensive player, the second best defensive player in the entire draft, they're going to make out really well. You know, they're kind of following in that Texans mold
their shot to have a really
of taking
good
their
draft.
quarterback, like their guy, and then trading up for Will Anderson last year and getting their defensive guy, taking the 2 best players basically at each end of the field. So I think they're kind of following.
They definitely have a shot at a really good draft. So only they can fuck it up at this point.
Yeah.
So. I mean, we all know who they're getting first round, but like later on, like only they can screw it up. Like they have the shot at a good draft, and they can make some more choices too. Because like you said, they can trade down. Like they can make choices.
Big possibility here. Yeah,
it's just up to them at this point.
All right, we got with this next pick, we got the New York Jets.
This is the 10th pick, right?
10th pick in the draft, yes sir. We got the 10th pick, New York Jets. Also, this one could go numerous directions, in my opinion.
No, a lot have like Bowers.
Yeah,
I'm other ones have like Fuanga, whatever the hell that guy's name is.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's tight end Brock Bowers from Georgia, absolute beast of a tight end. I mean, but just the numbers he put up, I think it was 17 touchdowns in the last 2 years, just incredible numbers. Just plays hard, angry, blocks. Well, he does anything you want him to do.
Yeah.
I mean, he's deserving of a high pick. It's hard to take tight ends early, but the way that rookie tight ends
like
played
a lot of
last year
teams
with Sam
really,
Laporta and those kind of guys, they have a real shot to boost that position up. You know what I mean? Yeah, and like you said, they could go offensive tackle. Talise Fuaga is the guy you were thinking of. Also, J.C. Latham from Alabama. He's also a possibility there. He's basically it's all about Aaron Rodgers.
It's about protecting him. I mean, they could draft.
Giving him a weapon.
They could like draft Bowers, but I mean, they have Conklin. But I mean, they could draft Bowers. That just one of those guys would be kind of turned more into blocking.
I think Bowers is.
And they'd always try and have extra blockers just so Aaron Rodgers doesn't get hit.
Yeah, Bowers is above Conklin.
So
in my opinion, he's a pass catcher, man. The stuff he did at college, even his after the catch stuff, his tackles. I mean, he just looked like a man on the football field right there, man. Yeah, he was definitely good. I don't think defense is a real pick here.
Man.
Yeah,
I think they're just probably going to try and get a lineman, offensive lineman, and just protect Aaron Rodgers more.
Yeah, you would expect more.
I just feel like if they get Bowers, like one of their tight ends is going to turn more into a blocker, and then I feel like if you turn Bowers into more of a blocker, you're just wasting him.
They're not going to turn him into. They turn him into a pass catcher. He'll open the field up for guys like Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, like that offense. I'm telling you, put an incredible tight end on that team. That offense is stupid.
Yeah,
but Aaron Rodgers is 100%.
Coaches
if he's 100%.
NFL coaches make weird decisions, and just because you're a rookie, they'll just make you do shit that.
I think they'll play to his skill set, and his skill set is definitely passing, catching the pass.
But I feel like they'll definitely make him block a little bit more than he used to.
Well, when you got a running back like Breece Hall, you're gonna block. You know what I mean? But he's like an angry enough player that he can block well.
But if I was them, I'd just get an offensive lineman.
Yeah.
And just
well, they did sign.
They
signed 2 offensive tackles in the offseason, Morgan Moses and
they did.
A little older.
So they could get Bowers.
They're a little older, possibly injury-prone kind of guys. So maybe drafting an offensive tackle, kind of like what you say with the quarterback, drafting
just
him
in case.
Maybe training him, maybe put him at guard, let him transition to tackle. You know what I mean? Because I think they lost Mekhi Becton or they lost one of their guys, Alvera. They lost one of them. So, but they had a decent line, and then I don't know what happened last year. But then you could also say it was instincts of your quarterback.
I mean, that wasn't sucked. I think their line was not terrible.
Exactly.
Their quarterback was
terrible. The instincts of your quarterback is going to make you the awareness of your line look not as good sometimes.
Then with Aaron Rodgers, it's going to be a different story.
Yeah.
So
I think he should. I think if any team changes the most next year, it might just be them. From injury return, you know what I mean? Yeah. From Zach,
they'll definitely have a way better season than Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, they're solid everywhere else.
Garrett Wilson. They're good everywhere else.
I mean, give him an actual quarterback, and he'll be a stud. Breece Hall is a stud. And then signing Mike Williams, coming off injury, but still good. Yeah,
still good.
Yeah, for sure. All right, next, number 11. Again, big possible trade candidate to trade up. Next 3 teams all could trade up. I could see for a quarterback. But with how the draft kind of fell to them, I think the Vikings get their guy with Drake May. And I think they're comfortable with it. I don't think they really need to trade up unless they really, really like one of the other quarterbacks more. But you'd have to give up a lot, and I don't really think you want to do that. So just stay put and get your guy here.
And they desperately need a quarterback.
Yeah, but you throw a quarterback on that team, that's dangerous, bro. That's dangerous.
Oh, yeah.
They got weapons. They've got a team already. Obviously they got
Justin
top
Jefferson.
3, top 4 receiver in the league, and Justin Jefferson. Yeah, a good young rookie coming up, Jordan Addison. Good tight end, T.J. Hawkinson. Hurt, but coming back, he'll be there. He'll be all right. and like you said, Aaron Jones. I mean, that's an offense.
They got some weapons for sure.
That's an offense. Yeah. A guy like Kirk Cousins, he's a fantastic quarterback. Now you got a guy like Drake May comes in there. He's in the mold of think of Justin Herbert when you think of him. Big guy, big 6'5".
Strong
good arm. Yeah, exactly. Like, it may not be the most accurate on the field, but he's definitely
can work
getting
on that.
the ball there. Yeah, exactly. So, like we said, a lot of quarterback needy teams.
Yeah, I definitely think they'll stay there and just get Drake May.
It makes sense, unless they get worried that a team's going to go up. Then that's normally what happens. Is it's just like concerns that another team's going to jump up. Like say another team trades with the Bears. Say the next team, the Broncos, they trade up with the Bears. Now the Vikings are stuck with not the guy they want. So that's why a lot of the trades happen. They just have a guy
just to solidify that they're getting that guy.
Exactly. And you may cost you some assets down the line, maybe even better assets down the line, but you want your guy. Most teams have their guy and they want it. So when they get worried, they trade up. I think if any team's trading up, I think them with the assets they have, having 11 and 23 and some other picks, obviously, I think they could get it done. The next team, we got the Broncos at 12. Pretty much same story.
Yeah, they need a quarterback.
Now, I've heard some rumors that they're trusting or have some trust, I'll say, in Jarrett Stidham. So that could lead them to go offensive tackle here with a couple good ones still left on the board, like we said with the Jets. Same kind of story, and also ironically with the Jets trading for Zach Wilson recently. But you trusting them too, man? I'm not.
I'm definitely not trusting Zach Wilson.
No, I don't.
Maybe sit him out. Maybe you can give him a shot, but Zach Wilson, I think he's lost trust. With every coach. I
think you go Bo Nix here, the quarterback. There's been some comparisons with Bo Nix to Drew Brees in play style.
Yeah.
So with Sean Payton there's been a lot of talks that he can groom him into a Drew Brees
type guy.
Player. Yeah, exactly. He's got that grit. He's got that short pass. He's good.
Yeah.
He was a winner at Oregon.
They'll definitely make it easier on both because, he's coached Drew Brees, so he could coach a Drew Brees-like guy.
Exactly.
And maybe the playbook he creates helps the quarterback too.
For sure.
He's going to. So maybe that could be a good.
Not a ton of weapons on the team.
Mashup. Yeah, no.
Also,
that team needs a lot of help.
Brock Bowers possible here. I've heard a little bit about him.
I could definitely see them getting him too. Just add another weapon. The thing is the quarterback.
Yeah.
Again, if your quarterback's trash, there's no point.
Yeah. If Stidham, say he develops in camp, say he develops something,
Yeah,
maybe they have some trust in him that we
they
don't
somehow,
know.
Or somehow Zach Wilson surprises you and gets better.
I'm out on Zach Wilson.
I don't know. Maybe you could draft Bowers,
but I don't know.
If I'm them, I would just take a quarterback. I wouldn't really
think
try and
these
take.
Picks are pretty obvious, and it's most years picks they seem obvious at least. You're I don't know where these guys are going to go. No, most picks seem obvious.
It's just if your quarterback sucks, if your quarterback situation's not that great, and you don't really know if they're going to be good, why even try and get an offensive guy?
You Daniel Jones.
You're just going to waste that person.
You've seen these guys before. It's not like you've never seen them play, or you've seen flashes. Like a Josh Dobbs, where he had flashes at Arizona, went to the Vikings, he was okay. Then he was not that good on the Vikings. But you saw the flashes. You know what I mean? You saw
they can be good, but they're just not consistently good.
Exactly. But you give them the right guys around them, a change of scenery. Maybe they're better.
Maybe it changes. Or maybe not.
Yeah.
I guess we'll have to find out.
Always, yeah.
I would just get a quarterback if I was them, honestly. I just wouldn't even try wasting an offensive player's life on that team.
Yeah, kind of similar to the Giants.
I would just try and get a good quarterback first, and then if your quarterback can be pretty solid, then you can start building pieces, putting pieces around him.
Yeah, Cortland Sutton, I think they said he has
there's no point,
7 different quarterbacks.
Yeah, there's no point building around and then the quarterback's ass.
Yeah.
It's kind of, that'd be just a dumb move.
Yeah, for sure. All right, moving on to pick 13. The Oakland Las Vegas Raiders.
Las Vegas.
Yeah, wow. Also, another quarterback team here could take a quarterback, but I have them selecting a cornerback, Terrion Arnold. I think corner. I mean, you can't go wrong with corner. It's
definitely. I think that's like probably one of their weakest positions.
Yeah.
Quarterbacks. I mean, their defense wasn't really that great.
Defense will be better though this year.
I think their secondary
will be better. They got Max Crosby and Christian Wilkins on the line now.
Yeah,
their defense will be good.
I think their secondary suffered a lot last year.
Yeah, those two questions of the quarterback will make the quarterback throw a worse pass. Now you take a corner
that
better equipped
to
exactly better equipped to read the pass and pick it off.
Yeah, their secondary was soft last year. They're getting smoked by everybody.
Yeah. They're definitely going to need some help.
I think they're going to try and take their chances with Gardner Minshew and see how he works out in the beginning. I mean, if he does terrible, then okay, but you never know.
Not that bad. Yeah, like
he's tough. He's tough.
He
can make some
trade
throws
back into the first round. Maybe if they could in the second round, get a quarterback, that kind of guy. I think Penix. I've heard a lot about Michael Penix going there. And I think it would just be entertaining, man. I've seen them even in some mocks getting traded, them trading up for Penix or for like a Jaden Daniels, those type of guys. They like
him and Devontae Adams definitely would be great to watch. But I definitely think they need to build up their defense, their secondary especially.
Yeah, Minshew's not the guy, but he's a guy.
He can make the throws. He can make throws and stuff, but he's not.
He's not your franchise guy, but
he's not a superstar.
He'll lead you to mediocrity. Not that you want that, but it's not as bad as,
he can win some games and he can make some throws, but I think they just need to build up their defense. Their secondary, their secondary is just bad.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so next we got 14, the New Orleans Saints. Pretty, they don't need really anything on offense as far as skill positions go. They got the running backs, Alvin Kamara, Kendrick Miller, not bad. They got Derek Carr. They got
Olave.
They got some guys. So I think to kind of round that out, I have them taking offensive tackle J.C. Latham out of Alabama. Could go Fuaga, like you said before.
Yeah, get some protection in there.
Yeah, I think that's the most obvious. Their defense, not that great either.
Yeah,
but I don't know if any player, maybe pass rusher, but Cameron Jordan's still there. They got some guys.
Yeah.
But I just don't think any other position here really makes sense to me than offensive tackle and protecting your guys and getting the ball down there. I mean, Derek Carr was not that good last year. Chris Olave didn't look that good last year, but it was because they had no time to throw.
Quarterback was
you got
and they just were getting sacked all the time.
Exactly. You need comfortability in the pocket for your quarterback to feel like he can throw.
That he can throw the ball and actually look down the field and analyze. Yeah.
So pretty easy pick there with them. And then we got the 15. We got the Indianapolis Colts. Pretty much same story, I would say. In a sense, I'm going to say offensive tackle, just for the fact that you got to protect Anthony Richardson.
Yeah,
coming back from
he was hurt.
Yeah, coming back from injury, you got to protect him.
But they could also pick another receiver.
That's where I was going to. I think Bowers is a huge
tight end.
I don't even know their tight end. I don't really
another offensive weapon. Would help them a lot.
I have them getting. Possibly the next best receiver, Brian Thomas. I think junior out of LSU. Speed guy. So him next to Pittman, that could be cool. That would be,
I think they're definitely going to try and prioritize protecting Anthony Richardson.
I think they saw what they had. Like you said, Gardner Minshew was not that bad for them last year.
Yeah,
made Pittman look okay. Looked like pretty good. Solid fantasy guy. I would have taken him. I liked him. Have Jonathan Taylor. I mean, you can't forget about him. So he should be a stud coming back this year. I have big faith in him this year. Also the tackle might help that as well.
Yeah, I definitely think they're gonna go for a tackle. And try and protect.
I think that's
Richardson.
Less obvious in the Saints, but pretty obvious.
You
know what I mean? It like we said, all throughout, it's pretty much the common theme of just take the obvious guy.
Yeah, like you just look at like your team needs.
Yeah.
Look at your team needs and be like, yeah, we're getting
like
this.
Don't get fancy. You know, the Bears, the Jets have rumored to be a receiver. Like you don't need that. You got some guys already.
Just get what you need and be okay with it.
And get the thing that's actually going to improve your team. Whether you like with the tackles, you don't necessarily like notice the improvement that they give you with the tackle, but like everybody else around them is going to be so much better, and you're like, wow, like everybody else stepped it up. I wonder why.
Like when the quarterback has like more time to throw and things like that.
Like I said before,
or the running backs are getting more yards.
Yeah, the comfortability in the pocket is a huge thing. It'll set not only is it just like you have more confidence. You have more like in your other players around you that you can get the ball to.
Because you know that you're like, I'm going to have time to throw this ball. Mm-hmm. So I don't have to be like running around like crazy. Or
opens up holes for the running game. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, so that kind of wraps up who we're going to talk about, the first 15 picks. Definitely some interesting picks. I think it's going to be a fun draft, like how these players will end up, the receivers, the quarterbacks changing teams. Out of those 15, probably the Bears, but maybe besides the Bears, who do you think is going to have the most like impact on a team this year? Which one of the?
I would definitely say like besides Caleb Williams, probably maybe like somebody like Jaden Daniels.
One of the quarterbacks.
And then obviously,
how about non-quarterback?
Marvin Harrison and Malik Neighbors.
If
anybody drafts Bowers, he'll definitely have an impact.
You think Bowers, wherever he goes,
I think he'll have an impact. I mean, you just can't.
If he doesn't go in these first 15, where I like him going personally is 18 to the Bengals, and I think that'd be a hell of a pick.
Because they're pretty sure they're just about to lose T. Higgins.
They probably.
They don't have Joe Mixon, and then
it's on Zach Moss. I mean, they're probably not going to run the ball too much.
Yeah, and then I don't know who is their third receiver, who like Tyler Boyd.
Yeah, no, I think they got rid of him too.
Oh, they got rid of so they definitely could use another offensive weapon.
Exactly. They could use a tackle too, protect Joe Burrow at all costs. But
see, that's a situation where I would take another offensive weapon and be like, dude, I get it. Like, I get it. We got to protect you, but you can't just throw the ball to Jamar Chase the whole game. Like, they're just going to double him, and you're not going to have anyone to throw to.
Yeah, and having a big receiver like that, big catching receiver like
that,
at least with Bowers, it's outside of the field while he's in the middle, so it open up the outside. At least with
Bowers, it's like if they throw to him and they see that he's an option, it makes you think like, oh, okay, well they might go to him too. So like, give you something to think about.
Mm-hmm. That's for sure. You got guys like him for sure. Probably my favorite guy that we didn't actually select in the first round. I would say like he's just going to be a hell of a guy to watch, whatever team he does go to. I would say that. Obviously, like we said, we got a lot of offensive tackle help. You may not see that as much. Besides that, I mean, I'm going to how about these other prospect players that we got? Players such as Chop Robinson, Byron Murphy. Those are some good pass rushers. We talked about Byron Murphy a little bit. Good defensive tackle. Wherever he goes, I think he'll make an impact as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Later in the first round,
it's a pass rushing league. You got to be, if you want to be good on defense. I mean, you got to try and pressure the quarterback.
Yeah,
you got to try and pressure the quarterback
for sure. Other receivers that notably go big receiver draft as well. I think later in the draft, the Bills need a receiver for sure.
Yeah,
I think the Chiefs, they could use receiver at 32. So a couple of those guys. You got Xavier Legette. Heard very good things. He's got good speed for his size, big body guy.
That's who the Chiefs are looking for, I think.
I've heard some things about him. Troy
more
Franklin,
speed around Mahomes.
Yeah, Troy Franklin's another one that I've heard a lot of good things. And then you can't forget Xavier Worthy.
Him I think is who the Chiefs were looking for. I think.
The two Xaviers. What is this?
I think Xavier Worthy
over here.
Is who they wanted.
So I mean, you got a couple good receivers still in there. Yeah, I mean, and I'm sure there's even more that I'm forgetting about.
Yeah. The Chiefs, they're going to draft a speedy guy.
If they
get a wide receiver, he's going to be a speedster.
I mean, that would be so fitting to them if he could add some more weight, some more size. But it's like you just found your Tyreek. I mean, not really, but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
he's technically. I mean, he's faster than Tyreek.
Yeah.
He's best 40-yard dash in history.
They're just going to want to put speed around Patrick Mahomes. It just seems to be their trend.
And I'm sure with a guy like him, you could use him as a running back. You could use him so many different ways with that speed.
Yeah, definitely.
There's so, oh my God, yeah. The ways you can use him is endless. Adonai Mitchell, also another one. I've heard him going in the first round. I forgot to mention his name. Adonai Mitchell. One of the other guys, I've heard a lot of Adonai to the Bills, but Bills, I think, are for sure taking a receiver.
They got to take a receiver
in this first round.
Yeah. They don't have another choice.
With the talent that's there, I think that's for sure. I would like them personally to get Leggett, being that big body guy, with some speed on him.
Yeah,
coming in to replace Diggs. I mean, Diggs he was like 6'1", so not as big, more technical sound guy. So now you kind of replace him with like a speed big guy like that.
Yeah.
I think gives Josh Allen a nice target to throw to.
Yeah. No, they definitely got a new receiver.
Yeah. And a couple other guys we could talk about, other notable names maybe later in the draft. One of our personal favorite, a lot of personal favorite, Cooper DeJean, the cornerback. First white corner selected in 100 years in the first round. Yeah, but that dude can play. He's not just like, oh, look at him, he's a corner and he's white. No.
He's locked
He can play. He can return. He can do anything you need him to do on the football field, really. That dude can play. He's got his instincts, his tackling, his speed. He's got some things going for him.
No, definitely.
That you're just like, wow, like that guy's just different.
Maybe somebody the Raiders could get.
The Raiders,
Raiders could consider getting him.
I mean, he could be. He's in there for the best secondary player in the entire draft. I would say for sure. He could play a little safety even as well. So he's got all that potential. Another cornerback, cool name guy that everybody's got to like. A guy, Kool-Aid McKinstry.
Yeah.
I mean, how can you go wrong with a name like Kool-Aid McKinstry? Come on now.
You can't go wrong with that name.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with that dude out of Alabama. A guy named Kool-Aid. Come on now. So, that cornerback safety type, very good player. I mean, obviously going to Alabama.
Yeah, you can't be bad if
on
you're
the
going
defense,
there.
and yeah, you're going to be all right. Yeah. I mean, yeah, a couple other offensive tackles. Another player I like, Jared Verse as well, defensive end out of Florida State. Very fast, very athletic guy.
Yeah.
Get that done on the defensive end, like we were saying, how good those pass rushers, how important they are.
You need them. If you can't pressure the quarterback, you're fucked.
Yes.
You're going to get spanked by every team if you can't pressure the quarterback.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, defense will get you there.
You got to get to the quarterback. You got to at least make them uncomfortable.
Offense usually gets you there. Defense wins it for you. That's where it comes down.
Yeah, if you can't make quarterbacks uncomfortable, you're going to
unless you have Patrick Mahomes, who just doesn't get uncomfortable.
It just doesn't matter. Yeah.
Like, that's why he wins all the time. But their defense was no slouch, man. That Chiefs defense.
Yeah, no, they improved a lot.
Yeah, they had players at every level to be very, very good. They lost, what's his name, though? The receiver, McDuffie? Or corner. Snead. No, they lost Snead, right?
Yeah, they lost Snead.
So, they could look there, but I like the Worthy pick. I feel like that's just a home run. If he can fall to them, getting a guy with that speed, it would just set them up so nicely. All right. I mean, that about wraps up our first round.
The draft is tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow night. This is Wednesday.
We could probably maybe do like a little live or something. I don't know what time the draft is, but
8 o'clock.
Maybe we could try and do like a live thing.
Yeah. We'll give you a little update, surprising picks, something like that. We'll throw you guys some more videos like that.
Yeah.
If trades blows our mind, I don't know if the Giants actually select quarterback.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we give you guys some updates, that's for sure. Stay tuned.
Make sure you guys sub, follow us on Instagram.
Yep.
And let us know in the comments what you think about the mock draft that basically Mike created.
Yeah.
Let us know your opinions on what you guys think and who you guys think other teams might get, and yeah. So this is the Getaway, our way to connect. Peace out, guys.
Thanks, guys.